What is going on, guys? It is your boy Garage Gaming here, and today I'd like to do a little announcement video on the French ground forces being introduced to War Thunder. So this is sort of just looking at the packs that they've introduced, but I'd also like to talk a bit about, you know, because I've already done videos on some French ground forces vehicles that I speculated would be in the game. Well, one of them is already confirmed right here, and it's sort of undermining my videos actually, so I better get them out real quick because I mean I'd like to say that I was actually the first person to make a video about the AMX 30 or the AMX 13 being in War Thunder. I can honestly say that because I've checked other sources and I've seen absolutely nothing. So yeah, let's get started on this. So the first pack on the left is the cheapest, and it's advertised here for being $14.99. Of course, I'm not sure what currency that is in. I'm not sure if this is being translated into my own currency, but the tank on the left is, I'm assuming, Bion 2, which is essentially a Char Bion, or Char B1, which was a pre-World War II tank built in the 1930s, and that version in particular is the up-armoured version, which was a prototype. Only two were ever built, so you're obviously not dealing with some pre-30s tank. That would actually make sense as a premium. All these vehicles do make sense as premiums, except for the one on the right, which I will get onto in a later part of the video. But yeah, so this thing has a 75mm howitzer in the hull and a 47mm gun in the turret, and it would be pretty powerful down at lower tiers. It just, especially since this thing's up armored, it already had some fairly decent armor on it, but you know, with the up armoring, it'd just be a lot more powerful. It also comes with 1,000 golden eagles on all these packs, 7 days of premium, the access to the closed beta, which I will probably be going into. And then you also get a MAC 31 machine gun. Now, I was too lazy to get a picture up of one, but if you're interested, just quickly go to your Google and have a look, and you get the Musketeer title. So that's pretty cool. Now, the vehicle in the middle is interesting because it is what is being passed off as a French tank, but in reality, I don't think France ever actually did this to any Shermans. I believe only foreign countries like, I think, Egypt and Israel did this to Sherman tanks, which is getting an AMX 13 turret, which is the vehicle on the right, and then fitting it to an M4 Sherman hull. Now, that looks like an M4A1 Sherman hull, so it's obviously not the Egyptian M4A4 with the FL10 turret. I believe that would be something more Israeli, I think. I believe the Israelis use a lot of cast hull Shermans, and that's what they were using right there. Now, it would probably be the auto-loading 75mm gun version of the Sherman, and it is just going to be equipped, yeah, on the Sherman tank hull. So it might be interesting to see how that would work down at lower tiers, because you've got to remember that gun will fire very quickly. Unless, of course, they've removed the auto-loading function, which I don't believe they did. I don't really know. Honestly, I looked into the AMX 13, but I didn't look at what they did with the turrets on other vehicles. But it would be interesting seeing such a modern turret equipped on a, you know, basically a World War II era tank down at lower tiers. I think it would be quite amusing. But then again, the PT-76B is a vehicle from like the 50s and 60s. Some nations still use it today, and that thing fights Tiger 1s because that's its combat capability, so, you know, that would seem to make sense. And then obviously the vehicle on the right. Now, this is interesting because I actually speculated that this vehicle would be in War Thunder because its capabilities were just too interesting to leave out. However, I didn't think they'd make it a premium. However, we've seen this before with the Stritzwagen 81, which is the British Centurion variant equipped with the 3 missiles on top. Now, it kind of annoys me that this vehicle is a premium because while the vehicle is iconic, it's just, well, not iconic. While the vehicle is sort of a bit different, I didn't think that it was different enough where you'd specify that it had to be a premium or whatever. See, to me, a premium tank is something that's a bit rarer, and as far as I'm concerned, the French used quite a lot of ATGM carrying AMX 13s, so You know, it kind of annoys me that they've paid walled this vehicle, because this vehicle is quite powerful, in my opinion. You've got to remember that those missiles are the exact same missiles that are on top of the Raketen Jagdpanzer II. That vehicle's an 8.3. Well, that thing only has 2 missiles before it has to reload. This vehicle has 4 of the things, and it's at rank 4 apparently. So I'm not too sure how that's going to go. However, I'm really looking forward, and I'm probably going to buy the one on the right, the AMX 13, simply because I've already done a video on it. Once 1.75 drops, I can't believe they're doing oh yeah, I suppose they skip every digit. Yeah, so once 1.75 drops, I want to make a video on that tank immediately, because I'm just going to have to. Now, unfortunately, I don't have full access to the French aircraft trees. I have not been grinding them either. So any French tanks I do have will lack any form of CAS, at least initially. So, you know, and I don't really plan on buying any French premium, at least, aircraft either. I'm probably just going to keep it pretty organic with the, you know, the tanks. So, yeah, it's a bit weird for me, but, you know, I'm looking forward to driving out an AMX 13, honestly, and I can't wait to see what they reveal in the French tank line in the future. Obviously, it's not going to be fully introduced as of yet. I mean, Germany was in the game initially, and I don't believe their trees are correct yet. They still haven't introduced the Heinkel 177 Grief Heavy Bomber to the tree, which I believe they should add between the Arado and the Dornier 217. They still haven't done that after years, and like, look how long it took them to add the P51H to the game. So honestly, I wouldn't expect a lot of... I mean, they'll add the Buzz vehicles like the AMX 50, which I'll make a video on next, but honestly, seeing other sort of more rarer vehicles, I doubt you'll be seeing them for a good amount of time yet. Having said that, I believe Gaijin's development team and, you know, obviously yearly income has grown because they've been able to put out these updates with the new content quite rapidly. Gone are the days where we would be waiting years and years and years for something to come out. I believe that this time Gaijin have really, you know, put the foot forward, put the foot down to the floor, and, you know, hiring new staff or whatever, and, you know, more developers to be able to get these patches out, you know, faster and faster. However, I hope they just manage to balance everything properly, because with a massive influx of content like this, the dynamic of the tanks changes yet again. And, you know, you don't want to add a nation of power creep, basically, where these French tanks are just going to stomp everything. I wouldn't really care too much if the French were stomping, you know, maybe 60% of the time, maybe even 55% of the time, because obviously they're new initially and, you know, they're going to just be a little bit mysterious. However, at the same time, I don't want it to get to the point where the game's just broken. It just becomes, you know, a French power creep fest. But, you know, that's just... We'll just have to see what happens, honestly. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little speculative video. It's just something I wanted to put together quickly because like I said, I'm quite invested in the French tanks. I want to be the first, at least for now, to have ever made a video about the AMX 30 or the AMX 13 being in the game. Now, I'm not sure if other people are going to start doing videos similar to this that will probably overshadow mine, but so far I've noticed the views on those 2 other videos are going up quite significantly, and I'll probably put the links in the description down below, so if you want to go check those out, you can, because I do a pretty in-depth analysis of those 2 tanks, and I've kind of got to rush out the production of the 3rd one, because, I mean, the AMX 50, that's also quite, you know, to me, a very powerful vehicle for the French, so... But I'm rambling on now, so I'll try to end this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you absolutely hated it. Comment down below any thoughts you have on the French ground forces, and make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with my channel. Hope to catch you guys next time.